something again? Seems fine. No, well. Actually, right, anyway. Tiny technical issue at the start, but whatever. Don't care as long as it doesn't do it again. Nick. What is it? I've got a confession to make. I'm terrible at figuring out magic tricks. Magic tricks? Yep, magic tricks are, by their very definition, tricks, right? But I can never figure out the tricks when I see them. That's because the tricks are performed by pros. They do it so you can't guess the trick. But the trick Pearly showed me was incredible. Pearls did a magic trick? What kind of trick was it? Let's see. It looked like she pulled the end of her own thumb off. First she put her right thumb next to her left hand, and then it just separated. She could move it up and down and everything. It was incredible. Really? Was it kind of like this? What? Wow! How'd you do that, Nick? You're like a real magician. See, this is why I just can't figure out magic. I'm no good at it. Especially hard tricks like flying away from the scene of a murder. You'll take all the fun out of magic if you keep trying to figure it out. Oh, my sweeties! You mind hurrying up and getting me out of this place? Doing your best, Max. Just hang in there. A little while ago, some people from a local TV station came by. And since I'm a famed magician, they said, let's make you your very own TV special. Really? What kind of TV special? Maximilian Galactica, the Great Prison Escape. It will be aired live. Hey, that sounds like it would be an awesome special. But if I do the special before I'm acquitted, they'll never let me out of here for real. And it would surely be an unnecessary addition to your troubles with the law. That's what I was thinking, but the production staff is already working on the show. If you don't get me out quick, I'll have no choice but to stage a real prison break. You seem awfully calm about that possibility. I'd have no choice. It would be a contractual obligation. That's show business. The night of the crime, you didn't happen to fly off into the sky, did you? Here is how everything went down, sweetie. At the time of the murder, I was sitting in the ringmaster's room. Not to mention, flying off into the sky is not just something I can do at will. I don't care what the stoogey clown says. It wasn't me. Max, do you mind teaching me the trick behind flying? You'll have to forgive me, sweetie. The difference between me and cheap imitation magicians is that I keep my mouth shut. I don't teach people tricks, but I will say this much. It's much harder than you think. I was thinking about this in court today. I've got a favour to ask of you. Anything for you, sweetie? Be friends with the other performers in the circus. Fabulous! A great joke. Why would I be friends with a bunch of hacks like them? But I won on the world stage. I won the International Grand Prix. International Grand Prix? Performers should always look to perform on the world stage. that the performers at the circus are completely and utterly devoid of ambition. That is something that I can simply not tolerate. Ambition, huh? Something about what Max just said rings true to my ears. Oh my sweeties want to hear all about the Grand Prix, don't they? To be honest though, I've told this story like 100 times already, so it's a bit boring. I'm sorry to make you tell it again. You must not have heard me. I am really sick of telling this story. But what can you do? I'm Maximilian Galactica. I suppose I can tell it again. Voila! Here, take a look at this. I just happen to have a picture from the Grand Prix with me. Just look at that fabulous stage. This is the first stage that I ever flew on. I flew right over the audience. The crowd erupted into applause. At that time I thought to myself that I could die right then and die a happy man. I'll never forget how I felt that night. The emotions, the acclaim. Wow. By the way, I think everyone who is a performer should get to experience that feeling. I just wish I could explain that to the other people in the circus. That's incredible, Max. I want a trophy too. Hey Nick, how about you buy me a trophy? That's not how you earn a trophy, Maya. My sweeties, you can have this picture of my triumph. Just make sure you show it to all the other members of the circus. Look and learn. That's what you should tell them. Learn how to get thrown in jail? You hear that? It sounds like two people arguing. Alright, let's do it. Are you ready? Yes. Wait. Quit your whining. Let's just give this a shot already. Alright, let's go. Row, row, row your boat. Row, row, row your boat. What are you doing? Gently down the stream. Come on, you know that. I'm trying my best, but Trillo, this just isn't going to work. Do you enjoy saying dumb things? You're going to have to be on your own someday. If you can't handle something as simple as this, what are you going to do then? Hello, Ben. Hello to you too, Trillo. What are you doing here? Can't you see we're on a secret crash training course? I'm sorry. Secret crash training? Whoa. Yes. Trillo wouldn't give up until I said we'd try out his idea for a new routine. So, we were trying to sing in the round for our new ventriloquism act. In a round? You can really do that? That's incredible. See? Even they are surprised by the idea. I told you. You're not the only ones. You even surprised me with your idea. Once we get a grip on the basics, then it's just a matter of practice. You think so? Oh, I almost forgot. I wanted to give this back to you. Ah, there it is. Now that I've got this ring back, it's time to take one more shot at Regina. I know that you already testified in court today. You want to talk about what we saw, right? Yes. Well, at first we thought it was the old man. Just looking at his walk and how he acted, right, Ben? Oh yeah, that's right. But then we said hello and didn't even get a reply. Not to mention he was draped in those gaudy symbols. What would you have thought if he wasn't wearing those symbols? What do you think, Ben? What? I would have thought it was the ringmaster. Something just isn't adding up here. What do they really saw? I was hoping I could ask you about Regina. I'm completely serious about her. That's why I'm waiting for her even now. Really? That's so sweet. But if you really wanted to see Regina, shouldn't you check out the tent? You haven't got a clue about things, do you, sweetheart? Huh? Waiting like this is part of being in love. How so? If you had a clue, you would know that waiting is such sweet, wonderful torture. When your body aches for your partner's love, that's one of the best parts. Yeah, I knew that. Oh my, she said she looks like a vine ripe. Like a vine ripe tomato. So, how is this new routine working out? Will you two just take your chill pill already? Our routine's a secret. We're going to take the ventriloquism world by storm. It'll be a real revolution. That sounds incredible. But let me make one thing clear. We're not going to take on the world just because that jerk said we should. That jerk? Max Galactica. Performer should aim for the world. Who does he think he is? True though, you seem to really be fired up about all this. He needs to realise that he isn't the only one who can conquer the world stage. You're right. Mark my words, Triloquist will win the Grand Prix. You're the man now, doll. Row, row, row your boat will be the key to a glorious victory. Not to rain on your parade, but wouldn't a more mature song be best? Hey, you gotta start somewhere, right? Don't screw this up. You've got a part of this. You gotta be a part of this too. Do you mind taking a look at this? It's... I guess we won't need you to look at this after all. Oh, it's you two. You look like you just got hit by a truck. Shouldn't you get some rest? Taking a rest right now, pal. I've been listening to some crazy clown's life story. Miss Von Karma told me to come down here and do this for her. Yeah, I figured as much. Let me tell you something, pal. Listening to that old clown sucks all your energy. Every time he's done talking, he looks at you like you should be doing something. I think he's waiting for you to laugh at his jokes. I know that, pal. Do you have any idea how much your face hurts if you fake laughing that much? Francesca really set you up bad this time, didn't she? If you ask me, she should be listening to Mo herself.
No way, pal. You're not going to get me to backbite a woman with a whip. No way.
Well, why are you defending her?
Prosecutor Von Karma's always got her eyes on us. And every time you definitely don't want her to show up, poof, there she is. Don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up, don't show up.
Looks like she's wounded him up pretty tight. Wound him up pretty tight. There.
She's directly above us as we speak.
Huh? How's that possible?
According to the clown, the culprit jumped from here and disappeared into the sky. That's what happened. It means the killer passed right by this window, pal.
I see. Who lives in that room, behind the window up there?
The acrobat's got his room up on the 3rd floor, it seems. Pretty soon Miss Von Karma's going to start her investigation up there. So don't get any ideas of going up to the acrobat's room. Got it, pal?
Francesca Von Karma. Well, she's done with her investigation. I think I'll go up there and check it out. Mo's not here. If he was here, you would have been able to tell even before you stepped into this room. I'm sure you would have heard him laughing anyway. What do you think he is laughing at when he's all by himself? I always thought he was just thinking up new jokes. Must really love his work. Huh? Where's Virginia? I don't know. But if she's with that tiger, I don't want to find out. Let's hurry up and get out of here. Nick, you're kind of a chicken, aren't you? No. I'm just allergic to wild tigers. Max and the ringmaster had their talk in this room. That could have been when the ringmaster put on Max's costume and went outside. Why'd he do that anyway? Was it really that cold or something? You may not know this, but they call this... Yeah. You already knew that. What? A scrap of white paper is sticking out of the coat pocket. Where? Calm down, Maya. I'll just go rummaging through people's coats. You always make me feel like I'm doing something wrong. Still not gonna let me do it, eh? Fine. Get the damn thing eventually. Right. Welcome to the wonderful, the fabulous, the cafeteria. Yikes. He's in an awfully good mood. Alright, you know what time it is? Riddle time! Why does everyone cry when they eat Mexican pizza? Come on, you can answer this. It's easy. Because cafeteria Mexican pizza is possibly a weapon of bowel destruction? Wrong. Try again. Okay, what do you think, girlie? I got it.
Okay, what is your answer?
Because they are in the cafeteria?
Exactly! It's an incredibly sad place, that calf.
I did it.
What's going on? He's being too nice.
Today's been a really crazy day, hasn't it?
Why are you telling me? I didn't think it was going to be so tough.
Huh?
Yeah, it was a tough crowd. That's what you call a crowd that refuses to laugh. For instance, it was such a tough crowd this morning I had to smash watermelons. I told them all a great story and even greater jokes. One busted out laughing.
You even used the famed no shoes, no shirt, no service joke.
Exactly. How can you not laugh at stunning comedy like that?
Are you 100% sure about your testimony today?
I saw what I saw, I swear. That creep just
Flew through the air?
wasn't exactly flying per se. It was more like floating. The silhouette of his face made me positive it was Max.
I don't see a cyclock. You must be telling the truth.
Not this picture. He showed it to you guys too.
Huh? You've seen it as well?
Oh, you know what they say about Maximilian Galactica? He really gets around. Oh yeah. He didn't just show me the picture.
What do you mean?
He showed me his bust too. Let me tell you, that thing is enormous. It's in the picture, I think. He'd make us worship it. Every day he made us bow to his greatness.
He's got a big bust?
I wouldn't mind hearing more about Max's bust. Not that I'm into that sort of thing. Max's bust should be on that small table over there.
There's nothing over there.
Really? Oh yeah. When was it? I'd say about 5 days ago all of a sudden. The bus disappeared.
It disappeared?
You want to see it? There's a photo on the bulletin board over there. Max just had to put the picture up.
Hey, this thing is really cool. Nick, I want someone to make a bust of me.
Sure, as long as I'm not paying for it.
Aw.
Is there anything else that's changed about this place? Nope, nothing's changed that I can see.
I wonder if he's actually thinking about this or if he's setting up a bad joke.
Nope, I'm drawing a blank here. That mo is a good mo in my book.
Guess there really aren't any other things that have changed, huh?
Well, there is this one teensy tiny thing that does seem different. Tell us. Well, on the morning of the crime over at the bulletin board, this piece of paper was posted front and centre.
Piece of paper?
It's torn so I don't know what it said, but I could see its title.
Yikes! It says, "To the murderer."
Murderer? Yep, that's what it says, but the rest of it is being ripped off. I don't know who posted it.
When did you find this?
The morning before the murder.
Before the murder?
Yes, the ringmaster was killed the night after this paper was discovered.
Who in the world posted this then? Nick, I think we'd better follow up on this important lead. Can I get it now? It's exactly the same. Tailcoat. What? Scrap of white paper. Where? Calm down, can't just rummage. Apparently not. Okay. That's probably haven't been playing this before. I know what to do. Do you know anything about this note? The morning of the murder, it was posted on the wall in the cafeteria. I do know all about that note. When I read it, my heart certainly skipped a beat. Your heart skipped a beat? While I was enjoying my morning tea, the ringmaster and company entered the room. Company? I guess it wasn't really a company, it was just the ringmaster and my sweetie pie. When the ringmaster read the note, he turned an incredibly bright red. All of a sudden, he tore it off the wall and shoved it into the pocket of his tailcoat. There it is. Really? Out of curiosity, what in the world was written on that thing? Let's see. Oh, you don't want to steal the fun from my sweeties? Go and find out on your own. I'm sure you can find it somewhere. You might also want to ask my sweetie pie princess. There it is. Hey, do you see that? There's a scrap of paper shoved into the pocket of the tailcoat. You know, I've got a feeling I know what that is. Bet that's the other half of the note that Mo gave us. Let's hurry up and check that thing out, Nick. I knew it. It fits perfectly with the other piece. What does it say? What does it say? To the murderer. I have conclusive evidence of what took place. Meet me at 10 p.m. tonight at the Lodging House Plaza. Tonight at 10 p.m? That's when the murder took place. Now we need to find out who called out the ringmaster. What? Mo's gone. There's a message on the bulletin board. I'm hungry, so I'm off to get some hamburgers. Love, Mo. Hamburger. Just thinking about it is making me hungry. All of a sudden I need a burger bad. All of a sudden I need a new partner. Bad. Actually, nah. Hey, Detective Gumshoe. I'm sure you did a good job as usual.
Well, I'm done with the investigation of the acrobat, finally. But with Miss Von Karma,
Nick, what is that? That beeping sound.
it's Miss Von Karma.
Huh?
Every time I hear that sound, she's usually not very far behind.
Some sort of pager or something?
You don't mind, pal. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of here. Quick! See you, pal.
I didn't know that Gumshoe could run that fast. So much for being a flatfoot. Never seen a grown man so afraid of a girl still in her teens. Well, let's go inside. It's freezing out here. The wind is biting us. Ow! It's biting his lashes from a whip.
Von Karma. She really did appear.
It was a real battle today in court, wasn't it, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Did you have to jump out and scare us like that? What can I do for you?
Tomorrow will be the day my dream finally comes true.
You mean the story of my defeat at your hands making the national news?
National news. You possess such a small sense of scale. The global news, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Your miserable plight will be known internationally.
I think you might be overestimating the importance of a win by just a smidge. Miss Von Karma, it appears you got your hands onto something big, huh?
I'm amazed you picked up on that much.
Anyone could. You couldn't hide that look of victory with 10 paper bags on your head.
I've got conclusive evidence and a conclusive witness. Need any more hints?
Conclusive witness? You must mean the acrobat, right?
I'm putting in the summons for him to be called as a witness as we speak. It's the final nail in your coffin, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Yeah. Get it already. You want to beat and destroy me. Don't worry about her. I'll try and find out more information myself.
Why do you keep giving Nick the evil eye? Doesn't matter if he proves the defendant Doesn't matter if you prove the defendant guilty tomorrow. Nothing will be able to bring your dad back. My dad? You must mean the esteemed Manfred von Karma. Of course, your dad. I know you miss him. Enough out of you. One more word and you will get a mouthful of whip. Now, when did I ever bring up my papa's name in this, or any other conversation?
Then, what's this revenge thing you're talking about?
You wouldn't understand, Mr. Phoenix, right? I have to see him again one more time.
Him?
I'm sure you know to whom I refer. Miles Edgeworth. What? Edgeworth? Mr. Edgeworth?
Miles Edgeworth? Miles Edgeworth? Why would you even bring him up?
You haven't forgotten, have you? Do you know who it was that turned the gifted prosecutor Miles Edgeworth? Trained, even? Manfred von Karma. Exactly right. It was my papa. That means that Edgeworth was... right again. Miles was like a little brother to me. Huh? Little brother? That Edgeworth and Nick are the same age.
Edgeworth. The man who inspired me to become an attorney. I fought against him in a few cases. But a little after that case was over, he vanished.
It's your fault he is gone. Huh? It's the truth, isn't it, Mr. Phoenix, right? Nick, what does she mean?
Edgeworth was never quite the same after that case. And then with the case after that one. Never set foot into the court again. Then one day, he just vanished. All he left was a simple note at the prosecutor's office.
Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death.
That was 1 year ago. It was a few months after you left to go back home.
Mr. Edgeworth, he's dead? I don't believe it. He's still alive. I'm sure of it. Somewhere in this world, he's still alive. Prosecutor Miles Edgeworth chooses death? Of course he did. You ruined his reputation as a prosecutor. You effectively killed the prosecutor in him. Just like your victory muddied the honorable name Von Karma. I'm going to find him. And then, I'm going to teach him his rightful place with my own two hands. Nick, about Mr. Edgeworth.
Maya, I already told you this once. Don't make me do it again. Don't bring up his name in front of me again, okay?
Nick?
Miss Von Karma.
What?
I don't know if you're God's gift to prosecutors or not, but I've had about enough of you. Him too.
What in the world happened? This dog is all bark and no bite. He's already been defeated. Regardless, I have nothing to inform you two today. You two of today. Tomorrow will be the greatest. Tomorrow will be the greatest courtroom battle this country has ever seen. Nick?
Let's go. We need to talk with the performer on the 3rd floor.
Sorry I brought it up, Nick.
You must be Phoenix Wright. Yes. Pleased to meet you. I'm Ken Dingler. And here at the circus, everyone just calls me Acro.
Mr. Acro?
How do you know my name? The detective told me. He said you'd definitely show up here.
Acro, you're a member of this circus as well?
That's right. I mainly performed on the tightrope or the flying trapeze. But nowadays, all I perform in is my wheelchair. Acro, why did you join the circus? When I was a kid, my parents failed miserably at business. Then one night, they decided to run away from it all without me. The only person who was willing to take my parents' place was the ringmaster. The ringmaster took such incredible care of me. It was truly a lifesaver.
Seems like the ringmaster was truly a saint.
He was. That's why I decided to do something very important. I decided that I would devote my entire life to finding a way to repay him. And now, look how someone repaid him for all the good in his life. It's such a shame. Sometimes I think that he was almost too kind. Perhaps he was too kind to his performers. Perhaps he was too kind to his daughter. What if he spoiled Virginia?
Virginia is so cute. She's truly a princess.
Truly a princess? Are you sure that's a good thing? Do I detect a hint of a grudge against Regina?
I'm sorry to ask, but why are you in a wheelchair?
The nerves in my legs were badly damaged. And you can't walk now? I can't even stand now. And since I live on the 3rd floor, I can't even leave this building by myself.
That's awful.
The accident happened during an acrobatic session, right? Cyclops? Doesn't seem like Acro's injuries were acrobatic in nature. What's on your mind, Mr. Wright? Well, exactly when were you injured? It's been almost 6 months since I was hurt. I injured my legs during practice. 6 months ago? What in the world went on in this circus then?
stopped by yesterday and noticed you weren't in your room. I was at the hospital all day yesterday. Ah, you went there for rehabilitation. What about the murder? Of course I knew about it. Spoke with the police before they allowed me to go to the hospital. Before I got the call from the prosecutor, I was convinced that it was all a dream. Huh? I just couldn't believe it when I saw what I saw. What you saw? Jeez, that sounded really ominous. What did you see, Acro? At night. I was in bed sleeping when I heard a huge sound coming from below my window. I see. The scene of the crime was right below your window. That's when I looked out the window. What did you see? He was flying straight up into the air. He? Maximilian Galactica. What? That's what I thought he'd say. You're absolutely positive that it was Max you saw flying? I'm absolutely sure. There's no doubt in my mind. Nick. Got a bad feeling about this. Nick. Wonderful. Today's special must be Filet Phoenix. Stay, heal. Oh Maya, Nick, it's you guys. I'm sorry. I guess I made a mistake. Mistake? Yeah, a little one. I was thinking of teaching whatever primate was out there a lesson. But I was expecting more of a monkey than a human. A monkey? It's a pity about what happened to the ringmaster. Dad? Everyone loved him, didn't they? He must have been quite a man. He was. I love my dad so much. I hate to say it, but she doesn't seem all that broken up about her father. That's why I feel so lonely. Feel that I won't be able to see him for a while. For a while? Yeah. When Leon died, I talked with my dad and he told me that when someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens. A star? That means that my dad is looking down on me from the sky. That's why I love the night so much. I can see everyone who's gone. When someone dies, they just become a star in the heavens? That's kind of sweet. And I bet you there's no way that Maya believes that. What do you mean there's no way that I believe that? Do you think that one day I'll be a star too? Of course. You really think so? Yeah, you will, I think. I've got a feeling that everyone is doing great up there in the sky. I wonder if everything's alright with Eugenia. Just to go back and clear something up, why do you want to teach Money a lesson? Because he's a meanie. He's got something that means a lot to me. Something that means a lot to you? It must be something shiny, right? Actually, it's a stage costume. It's got lots of spangles. It's really beautiful. You should see it. We should? When the costume gets hit by the
Same worth wrote some.
When the costume gets hit by the spotlight, it dazzles. Hey, Mr. Attorney.
Huh?
If you saw that monkey, you'd get my costume back for me, wouldn't you? It's really important to me.
Well, such a choice.
Leave it all up to us.
Guess there's no turning back down that request.
Yay. You're really gonna do it.
Junior, have you ever seen this before?
I know what this is. Really? Well, it was in my pocket for a while.
It was in your pocket? This piece of paper was in your pocket?
I guess I noticed it when it was in there around breakfast time.
Breakfast time?
Yeah, I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning. That's when I also take out the trash in his room. Then I go to the cafeteria and eat my own breakfast. That's when you realize this piece of paper was in your pocket? Yep, but since I'm not a murderer, I just figured it belonged in someone else's pocket.
And then what?
I wondered if the person who lost it was in trouble, so... You didn't put it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria, did you? I did. I stuck it up there. How'd you know?
So it was Virginia who put it up there. Why did this happen? When did this happen, Beth?
The morning of the murder, I think.
That explains a lot.
I wonder who wrote this.
Ah.
Something smells fantastic. So we know it can't be Mo. Wait, I know what it is. It's burgers.
Oh, hello, hello! Welcome to the Bistro de Cirque, aka the cafeteria.
It smells so good in here, and those burgers look great.
She's drawing like she's some sort of crazed burger monster. My burgers are the best. Juicy meat, toasted buns, special sauce. They're absolutely irresistible to anyone with a hankering for a burger. One bite will send you into hamburger heaven.
I bet. I can tell by the smell.
Oh, I'm getting hungry too. These burgers must have some kind of special power.
Now that the ringmaster is gone, what are you going to do?
That's what I thought about the past 2 days. Everyone loved Russell. You heard that gross story, haven't you? Like how he was adopted when he was younger. He's calmed down a bit now, but he was livid when he heard about the murder. That girl was so upset that he said he couldn't go on. He was that upset? Yes, he was. Anyway, I gave it some thought. Maybe I should give up on trying to be a half-baked clown. I've been thinking of trying on the ringmaster's shoes.
What? Really?
Max would still be an issue though.
Max.
He may be a bit mean and hard to work with, but it's hard to argue his importance. Probably the reason the circus is still around. A lot of what he says is right.
Mo.
All that's left is to see if everyone can get over the tragedy. You know...
The tragedy, you know. What is he talking about? Get over... What tragedy, Mo?
Oh, don't worry about it. It's nothing. Nothing at all.
You must mean the tragic death of the ringmaster, right?
Yes, yes. That's it. You're right, Gully. Dang, dang, dang. Correcto mundo.
Doesn't he mean ding? Mo, I mean no disrespect here, but are you lying to us?
No, not at all. What makes you think that?
Just the way you said if everyone can get over the tragedy seemed a bit strange. It sounded like you were talking about something from a long time ago. Mo, I'm right, aren't I? So now we're getting closer to the truth.
It was about 6 months ago. It was just a little accident. Give me a break. Us old men have accidents. I wear big pants for a reason.
6 months ago, eh?
Let's see here. To the murderer. That's far from polite. Where did you find the rest of this note anyway?
Maybe best if I didn't tell Mo where we found it. Don't worry about it, Mo.
I didn't need to worry about it. You shouldn't have shown it to me.
Mo's not here. What's that? I hear something.
Stop it, Nick. You're scaring me. Nick, it's money.
That monkey's holding something.
That's it. That's the thing that means a lot to Virginia, remember?
Alright, time to take on this monkey, attorney style.
Stay, money. Stay. Hey, it's working.
It sounded like he was confused at the end of that ooh.
Stay.
Thanks.
I knew that acting like Virginia would do the trick.
Nick, you...
I swiped it while Money was distracted.
Wow, you're really on the ball today, Nick. Let me see it. Let me see it.
Huh? You can see it fine from where you are.
You know what I mean. I really want to try on Virginia's costume.
Maybe then they'll take you in at the circus and I can get some peace and quiet. What's the matter now?
Doesn't fit me at all.
Oh well, guess it's time for you to lay off the burgers. Not to mention it doesn't look like something any girl I know would actually wear.
Here you go, Virginia. Yay! Thank you. You really got it back for me.
Don't mention it.
I love you, Mr. Attorney.
It's nothing. No wonder guys melt to mush in front of this girl.
Hey, Virginia. That costume is yours, right? I tried it on, but it didn't fit me. Huh? This costume? This isn't mine. It was Leon's.
Leon's?
You know, the lion she told us about.
Oh, the one that someone killed. Leon, he was killed, wasn't he?
That's right. My dad killed him.
Why?
Well, Leon did something really bad during practice.
During practice?
Leon was sitting down, and then he opened up his mouth. You know, oh. Usually when he did that, I would put my head into his mouth. Wait, you put your head into a lion's mouth? I sure did. The people in the crowd always loved seeing me do that. They'd always start screaming.
Are you sure they were screaming because they loved seeing you do that? Anyways, what was the bad thing?
Oh yeah, Leon bit someone during that practice. Virginia, everything was all right though, right? No, it wasn't all right. That was the problem. My dad was incredibly angry.
And that's when Leon...
Yeah, that's why he became a star in the sky.
Poor thing.
Right.
Mo, please tell us what happened 6 months ago. What in the world went on at this circus?
Okay, okay. There's no need to look so scary when you ask me. Hey, look over there. Some juicy burgers. Let's eat instead.
Fortunately, I'm more of a grilled chicken sandwich man myself. Actually, I've kind of got an idea of what happened back then. Mo, you said something about an accident. This wouldn't happen to be the cause of that accident, would it? I heard a little bit about it from Virginia. Leon made a mistake during a practice, right?
How did you...
I told them so many times. You shouldn't be doing such dangerous acts. Like putting a head inside a lion's mouth, right? Leon's mouth, right?
Yeah, but Virginia believed in Leon. She believed so strongly that the ringmaster went along.
Never could say no to her. Out of curiosity, who was bitten? Come on, Mo. Don't clam up on me now. Who did Leon bite on the head?
Well, I promised I wouldn't say anything.
You promised?
He's involved in this too.
He's involved, huh? Mo must be talking about... Mo, is this the person that you promised you wouldn't say anything? It must have been Acro, right?
How'd you know?
Don't worry about that, Mo. Getting to the bottom of this accident may help solve what happened to the ringmaster.
No way.
I need to know the truth about what happened to Russell. Please tell me what you know.
I'm sorry, Acro.
It's just like you said, you know. The accident.
Did someone die?
No, but it would have probably been better if he had.
What? How would that have been better?
He's still alive. When he got bit, he suffered massive brain damage. He'll never recover from the coma that he's in.
Coma?
All he does now is lie in his bed at the hospital. That's all he's ever going to be able to do.
I see.
How is he related to Acro?
He's his brother.
Huh?
The person who got bit was Acro's brother.
Brother?
They were an acrobat team of brothers. Acro and Bat. Cute nicknames, I thought. Anyways, they were an incredible team. Cut down together in their prime.
Who is Acro's younger brother?
Sean Dillinger. Sean Dinglinger. Dingling. Sean Dingling. But everyone always calls him Bat. Fell in love with Virginia. Trying to win her love was his downfall.
Everyone seems to fall in love with Virginia.
6 months ago, while we were practicing, all of a sudden Bat blurts out, "Let me perform with Leon."
Why'd he do that?
I don't know. That's what caused the accident. I'll never forget that moment. It was so strange. Leon had the weirdest look on his face. He was smiling.
You mean Leon?
Yes, Leon. When he bit down, he was smiling. Some sick grin.
No way. That's impossible.
Smirking line, a flying murderer. Why does it seem it's always Mo who catches all of these incredible events?
Nick, can lions smile?
We never told the police about the incident. The circus would have been shut down if we had. Next day, the ringmaster took Leon out and shot him with a rifle.
So that's what really happened.
Oh, you guys were so serious. What was I supposed to do? I had to tell you. But all this truthfulness has put me in the mood for a burger. Here, you two have some pepper. Shaka, 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 shaka.
There he goes again, acting like his normal crazy self.
Achoo! Achoo!
Nice. What a wonderful sneeze.
Huh? You think so?
You sneeze with pepper and slip on a banana peel. That's basic clownsmanship. Girlie, I know you gotta understand it. Gotta understand that.
Nick, I think I'd make a good clown.
Other than Virginia, I've never seen a cuter sneezer.
Does Virginia sneeze with pepper too?
She does. Bat would always tease her with pepper.
Bat?
Well, from my point of view, those two always look so perfect together.
They look perfect together, huh?
Right. Ah, Mr. Wright. Back again, I see.
Well, he did say I'll be back. Wait, or was that someone else?
I'm back because Acro is hiding why his legs were injured. He was hurt in the accident 6 months ago. Seems that he knows that we know. Oh well. It seems you've got things you want to talk about. So fire away. to ask you, how were you injured? I'm sorry, I thought we talked about this. It was an accident that happened during practice. An accident during practice? Yes. Unfortunately, acrobats are prone to all sorts of injuries. He's lying. If that were the real case, he'd have no reason to keep it secret. Acro, are you really telling me that a practice accident was the cause of your injury? Leon. 6 months ago, you were attacked by the lion. That's when you were injured. I know I'm on the right track. I just need to keep going. You're saying that I was attacked by a lion? That's what I'm saying. I'm sorry, Mr. Wright, but I'm an acrobat. I'm no animal tamer. If a lion was coming at me, I'd be running for the exit. Okay, maybe attacked is not the best word to be using. So let me rephrase that as battled the lion. You seem to enjoy telling jokes. Why would I decide to battle a lion? Because you had to fight it. You had to fight it to save someone. That. It was a shame what happened to your brother 6 months ago. You tried to save him, didn't you? And that's how you got that terrible injury. Mo, he must have told you. Yes, we learned about Bat from Mo. But he didn't mention anything about you in regards to the accident. I suppose it was just a slip of the tongue on his part. That's how I figured it out. Slip of the tongue. Anyway, they were an incredible team. Cut down together in their prime. Cut down together. And that was where he slipped. And that's how I figured it out. You two ended up at the centre of the same accident. Together, like always. I see. But an accident is an accident. It wasn't anyone's fault. Still haven't broken Echo's last sight lock. This must be one incredibly deep-seated secret. It wasn't anyone's fault. Do you care to explain more? Echo, I know you are still hiding something from me. Maybe someone you don't seem to like much is the reason you're being evasive. Virginia. You always seem calm and collected until you start talking about her. Saying things like, she is cruel. Well done, Mr. Attorney. You've got quite the set of eagle eyes. You know, a tiger tried to attack me. Regent tried to attack you. Twice. He wasn't serious, I'm sure. You're not trying to insinuate that I believe she's spurred on Leon to attack Bat, are you? Leon was never taught a command to attack people. Virginia isn't capable of doing anything like that. Besides, Virginia had no reason to want to hurt my little brother. Virginia and Bat were such good friends back then. But you still hate Virginia. I've got proof of it. What are you talking about? Oh, maybe I overdid it again. But if I can hand something over to Acro, maybe it'll... Here's proof that you had it out for Virginia all along. This... Where'd you get it? Virginia posted it on the bulletin board in the cafeteria. Before that, it was in her pocket.
I guess I noticed it was in there around breakfast time. I always take Acro his breakfast in the morning.
You wrote this, and then you put it in her pocket. That's right, isn't it? That's right. Well done, Mr. Wright. My legs were injured by Leon. 6 months ago, my younger brother Bat had a dare with Virginia.
A dare?
An absurd dare. If I can put my head inside of Leon's mouth like you do, you have to go to the movies with me on a date.
That's insane. Did you know how dangerous that is?
We all thought he was being stupid too. But that line was very old to begin with. An age brought with it countless experience in doing that very trick. Unfortunately, this particular time I guess Leon wasn't ready or willing. That's when the accident happened. He just wanted to take her out to the movies.
Oh, Bat.
When Leon chomped down, I jumped towards him. And Leon attacked me, and that's how I ended up.
What about Bat?
He's still in a coma. I went to the hospital yesterday to visit him.
I see.
I'm still waiting for him to open his eyes again. That's the reason why I keep going. Bat and Virginia. They were such great friends. Oh yeah, I wanted you to take a look at this. What is it? This is the scarf my brother was wearing when Leon attacked him.
Gross. It's covered in blood.
This scarf. It was a present from Virginia to my brother on the day of the accident. When he did it, he looked like he was smiling.
He?
Leon, obviously.
Oh,
When he bit down on Bat's head, the expression on Leon's face looked like a grin.
Nick,
I know, most said the same thing.
what do you think it all means?
I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind.
I'll be taking that scarf if you don't mind.
Miss Von Karma.
I've already heard everything, so hand over the scarf. But the scarf bit evidence in the trial. And that is for me to decide. I think we should begin our preparations now, Acro.
Preparations?
I've served a summons to Acro to appear in court tomorrow as a witness. Acro, we'll talk more at the prosecutor's office. Acro, a witness? Come, Acro, let's go to the office.
Yes, ma'am.
Now what do we do, Nick? How are we going to handle tomorrow?
Don't worry about it. I'll figure something out.
Look at you, all full of confidence. You must have found something you can use.
This is all beginning to come together now.
Good morning, Max.
Oh, yeah. Good morning, sweeties.
You don't seem like your usual sparkling self today.
I'm always like this before I go in front of an audience. I'm working up to it.
Don't get nervous, Maxie. Here, have a glass of milk. Virginia.
How fabulous! My sweetie pie princess. You came to watch my performance today.
Of course I did. Mo told me that I should come and watch this.
Mo said that?
So, what kind of performance will you put on today? Let me guess. You'll fly at the end.
Oh. It's not that kind of show. Isn't that right, my sweeties?
Huh?
I think my sweetie pie princess doesn't.
Yeah, she doesn't seem to realise what's going on, or even where she is.
Well, Max, it looks like it's time to raise the curtain. I'll see you later. Today I'm just a member of the audience.
Fabulous. Enjoy yourself out there.
Good luck, Max. You're the best. Virginia's different, don't you think, Nick?
Top of the morning to you. Everybody, let's get ready to get stuck in Lego limbo. How low can you go? No? Top of the morning to you, governor.
Top of the morning?
That's the ticket. Attacking the day starts with energy in the morning. The early bird gets the worm. Then again, worms lack higher brain function. Here, Max, I bought you a present. Have some milk. Oh my. Thanks.
So, how are you today, Wright? Well, I've got the feeling that today I'm going to face off against a real culprit. You mean Acro?
You think he did it?
Be careful. He's used to putting his life on the line, literally. He's got guts to spare. If all I've got to worry about is how thin the tightrope is, I'm used to it already. It just means that I won't be able to press him like I can other witnesses.
What are you gonna do then, Nick?
Guess today we'll just have to do without our usual psychological warfare. Today we rely on evidence. It's the only way we'll get past Acro and to the truth.
Alright, but it's gonna be tough.
Anyways, I want you to make sure that Virginia sees it all today. It's important. Then she'll finally have to deal with the reality of what happened to her father.
You want us to make sure Virginia watches?
Yes, that's why I brought her here to court today.
What's that supposed to mean?
She needs to know that when people die, they don't just become stars. I may be an old-fashioned clown, but I don't believe in people becoming stars.
Court is now in session for the trial of Maximilian Galactic.
The prosecution is ready, Your Honor.
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Very well. Miss Moncalmer, you may proceed with your case.
The prosecution would like to revise its previous theory of events.
What's the meaning of this?
We have discovered a new witness, or shall I say a new eyewitness. One that saw Maximilian Galactica fly out from the scene of the crime.
Order! Order! I had a feeling something like this would come up.
Due to this revision, we are now prepared to explain how the defendant flew that night. An explanation the prosecution will present if the need so arises. In fact, my detective stayed up all night creating a mock-up of the scene on my orders.
Oh, gumshoe. Very well. Please call your witness to the stand.
Time to get to work. Or shall I say, time to walk the courtroom tightrope.
Name and occupation.
Ken Dillinger, but everyone calls me Acro. I'm employed as an acrobat at the Berry Big Circus.
Where were you the night of the crime?
I was in my room that night.
If you look at this map, you will see the witnesses near the crime scene.
My room is on the 3rd floor. The crime scene is below my window.
The night of the crime, the witness saw something quite shocking. Would you like to tell us what you witnessed?
Okay. It was just after 10 p.m. and I was resting in my bed. Around that time I heard a large thump noise from outside the window. And a few moments later, I saw someone flying right by my window. It was Max Galactica. I only saw him from behind, but that's who it looked like. To be honest, when I saw that, I thought I was dreaming.
This witness's testimony matches up exactly with that of the clown.
If that's the case, then there is very little the prosecution need add. All that's left is to explain how the defendant disappeared into the sky that night.
Before we get that far, I'd like to cross-examine the witness.
A foolish choice by a foolish fool who wishes to feel the foolish sadness of the sad fool. A man must know the proper timing for things, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Just like your old friend, Mr. Miles Edgeworth, did.
Mr. Wright, do you have a problem with the witness's testimony?
In the words of Miss Von Karma, may I quote yesterday's proceedings? There's no way that actually happened.
Very well. You may proceed with your cross-examination.
It's actually going to let me press everything, isn't it? You said that you were resting in bed. One would thus assume that you turned the lights off in your room, correct? That's correct. And there are safety lights around the outside of the lodging house. So bright sometimes it can make it hard to sleep.
If that's the case, wouldn't it be a good idea to close some curtains?
I never really thought of that. I guess that means I'm off to buy some curtains.
Sometimes I do make myself useful in these chambers. Oh!
The witness will proceed with his testimony.
Our room is on the 3rd floor, right?
Yes,
And you said that you were resting in bed? That is correct. But you were still able to hear a sound from outside.
it was indeed.
Pressing echo doesn't seem to get results. But maybe something was contradictory from what he said just now. Not really.
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing, Your Honour. I can find a clear contradiction. Should tread lightly. Are you sure it was a human being? Could have been a mannequin, or perhaps a large action figure. Well, setting aside the possibility of a mannequin, an action figure is plausible.
You have no need to mince words with Mr. Phoenix Wright. Testify to the truth and only the truth, just as if we were there with you that night.
I believe it was a human. Just strengthened his testimony. What if Echo's statement jives with the facts?
What's the matter, Mr. Wright?
Nothing. Totally. The light in your room was turned off then, right? That's true. I was going to bed after all. So with the lights off, you were still able to clearly see a human fly by your window. The safety lights lit things up enough for me to see. But honestly, it was only enough light for me to see the silhouette outside my window. It was the person's back, so I couldn't see the white roses on the front.
Did you see any other symbols?
Clearly saw the silk hat as well as a cloak wrapped around his body. I'm convinced that the person I saw was Max Galactica. The more I press him, the less results I seem to get. Maybe there was something fishy about his last bit of testimony. There is a huge contradiction with the testimony that was just given. If there's a contradiction, then prove it with evidence.
She's right. Let's see some evidence. Do you have any evidence to support your claim of a contradiction?
You claim to have seen the exact same thing Mo saw that night. Do you stand by that? What do you mean? The silk hat. What about the silk hat? I saw it on Max's head as he flew by my window. Well, you should have tried looking down or out of your window that night. That would have been quite difficult considering the state that I'm in. Just looking outside of the window was tough enough for a challenge for me. That's a shame, because you would have noticed the silk hat found on the scene. That's the ringmaster's hat, right? Afraid not. No matter how you look at it, this is Max's silk hat.
Where are you going with this, Mr. Wright? Are you saying that Max has 2 silk hats?
No, this is a handmade, one-of-a-kind model made only for Maximilian Galactica. Which means, Acro, you've been fibbing on the stand.
Order!
As always, it looks like someone just had to open their mouth before thinking.
Are you okay, Nick? Well, I opened my big mouth and now I have to back it up.
How about it, Mr. Wright? What will cause this witness to commit perjury in this court today?
Your Honor, on this occasion the defense accuses Acro himself.
On this occasion,
Accuses Acro? What in the world are you accusing him of?
Obviously, we accuse him of the murder of Mr. Russell Berry.
Mr. Wright, are you serious?
Deadly serious, Your Honor.
I think your trip to the circus have served you well. You seem to have learned how to try and grab at an audience's hearts and minds. Your Honor, don't allow yourself to be swayed by theatrics. Trying to wow the crowd with a smoke and mirrors is the oldest bluff in the book.
Really?
If you don't believe me, just look at the witness. He's calm enough for it to almost be scary.
He is staying rather calm and collected.
Mr. Dinglin, do you have any response to the defense's accusation?
I don't really need to say a thing, do I?
What do you mean?
Everyone take a good look at me. I can't even stand up by myself, let alone leave the lodging house.
That's true.
I understand that Mr. Wright is just trying to help his client. But to do this by accusing me of a murder of all things.
See, even a sliver of common sense makes it clear that the accusation is ludicrous.
She's right. Way to pick on the disabled, you heartless cruel man.
Phoenix is a poopy head. See that, Mr. Phoenix, Wright? If you're trying to drum up support from the peanut gallery, that's how you do it.
Ugh.
think that's enough of this little game. I've got a doctor's note to confirm that Acro is unable to stand under his own power. Maybe the defense is planning on making a claim to counter this as well. I can hear the defense now. Acro had an accomplice.
What do you say about this, Mr. Wright? Did Acro have an accomplice?
Now then, this must be when we get to hear the name of the mystery accomplice.
Not this time, Von Karma.
What?
You're not going to sucker me into this one.
What are you blabbing about, Mr. Wright?
There was no accomplice. Acro planned and committed this murder all by himself.
Order! Order! What are you getting at?
Way to keep them on their toes, Nick.
Now I'm going to prove how it all fits together. To show how Acro murdered Russell Berry.
Can you do it, Nick? Can you really do it? Do that?
I know what I can't do. Can't stop now. If I stop attacking, I'm doomed.
Alright, let's do it. Mr. Phoenix Wright. If this witness is the killer, then his eyewitness account is all lies, right?
Mr. Wright, I'd like you to clear something up for me. When the crime was committed, exactly where was Mr. Dillinger?
He was obviously here the entire time.
That's Acro's room.
Pretty simple, eh? Acro wasn't able to leave the lodging house by himself. In that case, there can be only one correct answer. Acro didn't leave his room to kill the ringmaster.
What? Are you nuts?
What say you, Mr. Dingling?
It's an interesting theory. That's it. Considering that what you proposed is impossible, yes, that's it.
Mr. Wright,
Yes, Your Honor?
as the witness has stated, your assertion is impossible. As he is in a wheelchair, there is no way he could go to the scene or be the killer.
You've got a point.
It seems you've forgotten once again, Mr. Phoenix Wright. The defendant was clearly spotted at the scene of the crime. That's true. Mo said he saw Max, didn't he?
But Maya, it's still impossible for humans to fly. Do you mind if I ask a question, Mr. Wright? What is it? I understand some of your logic. However, how do you think that I killed him? I can't leave my room. I obviously can't wear Max's costume. How did he do it? That's the next course of this legal buffet.
Be careful, Nick. If you mess up here...
She's right. Can't mess up here. Gotta give this one some serious thought. Sure that Acro killed the ringmaster. He did it while he was in his room. No doubt about it.
Time to enlighten us as to how Mr. Dingling committed the crime, Mr. Wright.
I'm going to present some evidence.
So, what did Mr. Dingling use to commit the crime of murder against Russell Berry? What's that? A picture?
It is indeed. The problem is with the item that's shown in this picture.
The bust?
It's quite a large bust. Because it is life-sized, it's also very, very heavy.
Heavy?
Heavy enough to guarantee a certain death. Especially if it was dropped from a third-story window. See, this is how Acro was able to kill the Ringmaster. With the force of gravity and Maximilian Galacta's ample bust.
Order! Order! So you're saying the bust fell onto the Ringmaster?
Rather simple crime. Even if he was stuck in a wheelchair, it would be incredibly easy to commit. How could you possibly wheel a wheelchair with something so heavy? Well, Acro is an acrobat. You should have more than enough upper body strength to carry something like the bust.
Mr. Dingley, how do you respond to these charges?
Well,
Acro's at a loss for words.
he should be. He knows that I'm getting close to the truth. Well, Acro.
No! I'd watch what I say if I were you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
What?
Your Honor, the physical health of the witness is material to this case. I demand that we get proper testimony from the witness himself.
Testimony, you say?
Karma. She's just using this testimony as a ruse to stall for time. There is absolutely no need for such testimony.
The defense has its version of the murder. The prosecution has the right to respond.
The defense's objection is overruled.
Why can't he see things my way for once in a while?
Mr. Dingley, I'm sorry, but we need you to testify about your physical condition. If you have any doubts about your ability to testify, we can request expert testimony.
The witness will have no problems, however. Let's all be respectful towards him.
Thank you. That woman will sink to any low to win a case. I suppose I could have lifted something the size of that bus. I have a strong upper body from working as an acrobat, and only my legs were injured. However, lifting the bus and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. That makes it impossible for me to have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. Thus, it would be unrealistic for me to drop the bust on him, don't you think?
I have no doubts in regards to this witness's testimony.
It was impossible for him to lift the bust and stick himself out far enough to look. Not to mention that he could not have known the location of the Ringmaster's head. A single false step would have led to even more severe injuries.
That's what I was thinking. What is your opinion of the matter, Mr. Wright?
I'd still like to proceed with my cross-examination.
He's simply stalling. It's shameful, really.
Can't let it get to me. I've got to focus. Have you ever lifted up the bus before? No, never actually lifted up with my own two hands. But I should get to it, don't you think? I can't let money outdo me on this. Money? The crazy monkey has lifted Max's bus before?
Please continue with your testimony, Mr. Dingling.
So, what have you been doing to keep in shape? Well, honestly, I've given up on my training. I don't have any plans to return to the trapeze or the tightrope. You don't say. But no offense. I'm not worried about losing to you in a race or anything.
Neither am I, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
I wouldn't lose either, Slowpoke. I mean, Nick.
Whoa.
How did the discussion turn on to me all of a sudden? Suppose you could say that I'm stronger than the average bear. Why is that? As if I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. I still haven't gotten much feeling back in my legs yet.
So you couldn't have thrown that bust out of the window?
How long do you think your recovery will take? You have to remember that my nerves were severely damaged. Currently undergoing some extremely intensive rehabilitation. But it's still going to take a while before I'm back to 100%.
Let me remind you of another very important point. If the witness was carrying the bust, he would not be able to see out below the window.
Why do you say it would be impossible? Allow me to explain. You accept that if I was carrying the bust, I couldn't see out below the window. Thus, there is no way I would know the location of the ringmaster's head. I suppose you've got a point.
Hey Nick.
Huh?
What if you turn things around? Maybe if you think of it sort of like this. If he knew the location of the ringmaster's head, then he could drop the bust.
That does make sense. If only I could prove somehow. That I knew the location of the ringmaster's head without looking down. I think I've already explained things sufficiently. All you had to do was drop it, then it wouldn't have been a problem at all. All I had to do was drop it. You're right, I could have done that. However, there is no way I could land a direct hit on the ringmaster's head.
So that kind of makes your theory a bit pointless, doesn't it, Mr. White?
Make is strong enough to lift up the bust.
The main problem is how he could have aimed for the ringmaster's head.
I wonder if he used some kind of tool to aim for the ringmaster.
That's a ticket, Nick. Show them what you got.
To be careful, to find something that fits perfectly with this case.
I don't remember us finding any sort of tool. But maybe we overlooked something.
Acro? You didn't really need to lean out of the window, did you? What are you driving at, Mr. Wright? You already knew ahead of time where the ringmaster's head was going to be. Quite precisely, I may add.
Your silly hinting at things is pointless, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Enough stalling. How about you show us some evidence?
But I did such a good job hinting.
Yes. Hurry up and explain things, Mr. White.
Maybe you should take a look at this. The key point here is the wooden box.
The same wooden box that the victim was found hunched over?
The same. The question is, who placed the wooden box there?
Who?
When Ben and company saw the ringmaster, they didn't see him holding the box. Which means that this wooden box was already placed at the scene of the crime.
I have to admit that your theory makes a lot of sense.
The moment that the bust came falling down, was exactly the same moment that the ringmaster lifted up this wooden box. Which means that the answer to all these questions is now crystal clear. You mean...
If the bust were to fall upon the point marked out by the wooden box,
there would be no way that it could miss the head of the victim. No.
Order! This is unbelievable!
Finally, some of those loose ends are starting to tie themselves up. Now I just gotta keep going. There's only one way to go from here. Forward.
So the next question I have is, who placed that wooden box at the scene?
It was Mr. Dingling, of course. He connected it to a rope, and then all he had to do was lower it down.
Ow!
Allow me to fit some sense into you, Mr. Phoenix Wright.
Ow!
The ringmaster's head could have been anywhere when he lifted the box. That's why the box was so specially made. Specially made? Indeed. It had the most peculiar feature. The box has a remarkable weight. Weight?
According to the court record, it weighs 20 pounds.
Just to lift up this wooden box would have required.
Oh, I see. One would have to squat down and lift it with their body, wouldn't they? Wouldn't you say?
That's exactly what I was trying to point out. The box is also very large.
And the box also has carrying handles on either side, doesn't it?
That is correct. To lift up the box, you'd have to squat down. Which means that no matter who you are, your head would be in approximately the same place. Fool! Does he even bother to listen to me anymore? I heard what you've had to say. I must admit, I'm shocked at your imaginative skills.
Did you do it? Did you place this wooden box in the plaza?
Mr. Wright may have a vivid imagination, but I could never have done what he's proposing. What? Mr. Wright, do you recall the original location of Max's bust? Of course I remember. It was on top of the table in the cafeteria.
Then what happened to it?
I'd like you to remember one important fact, Mr. Wright. I could not possibly leave the lodging house by myself. That means... You understand what I mean, don't you? I may very well have been able to drop the bust from my room. However, how would I have gotten the bust from the cafeteria to my room? You see, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Explain that. Don't forget, you said there was no accomplice. And that's exactly how the witness would have carried the bust from the cafeteria. Yep, definitely have a problem here. This is no place to get perplexed. Got to get my wits about me and prove how things happened once and for all.
All right, Mr. Wright. Let's hear your explanation. How did the witness get the bust from the cafeteria back to his room? A monkey?
Everyone knows Money. He loves shiny objects of any size.
Oh, like when he stole a ventriloquist ring.
So, are you saying the witness had a monkey steal the bust? Of course he didn't order the monkey to steal it. The monkey stole it on his own and then brought it back home.
Home?
Money lives in Acro's room.
Macro's room?
But the bust was bronze, wasn't it? Bronze isn't all that shiny.
Maybe you should put the whip down sometimes and read the court record.
My, those are some very nice cards he's holding.
Yes, they are made of platinum, which is very shiny. Acro. Money is a strong monkey, right? It'd be easy for him to bring the bus back to your room. He wasn't able to handle that himself. I'd be on the market for a new roommate.
Order! Order! I said order! Miss Von Karma! Where is the bust in question at this moment?
I don't know. He's searching for it as we speak.
This is a rather strange turn of events. Let's say that the monkey had not stolen the bust. What would have happened then?
Well, in that event, something else would have been used as the murder weapon. Wait. Then you mean this bust was the murder weapon purely by accident? It's possible. Maybe Acro saw Money's mountain of stolen goods and thought to use one of them. Anyways, I think we've more than proven one critical fact. Namely, that it was entirely possible that Acro was the murderer. Moron!
Mr. Wright's argument was so circular I'm still a bit dizzy. However, his argument does hold water. There's no denying that. Oh!
Don't seem so flamboozled, especially by this fraud of an attorney. Fraud? You've forgotten the absolute most important thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright. And what is that? You should know. You forgot that your fraud of a magical client was spotted at the scene of the crime. Ugh. There is no reason to doubt the clown's testimony.
That's true. How do you respond to that, Mr. Wright?
Nick, don't let her beat you now. I won't. This is my chance to turn this trial around. When the murder occurred, there were 2 people at the scene of the crime. One was the victim, Russell Berry, and the other was the murderer himself. Answer this and only this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Who was the murderer the clown saw? He saw Max's Ow! I asked who the other person Mo saw on the scene. That evidence has nothing to do with the question. Au contraire, mon frère, it does indeed have something to do with the question. Mo said that he saw Max's silhouette. But he did not actually see the man himself. It wasn't a human being he saw.
How is that possible?
It's simple, really. What Mo actually saw that night was Max's bust. What are you talking about? Have you tried using your brain at all in this case? The silhouette he saw was wearing a cloak. There's no reason why you couldn't attach a cloak to a bust. It would be easy to hang on off one of it would be easy to hang on. It would be can't read. It would be easy to hang one off of one of the It would be easy to hang one off of the cards in the bus's hands. Idiot! Who in their right mind would put a cloak on the bust? Doesn't matter who put it on the bust.
Just wait a minute now, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust? That question is of the utmost importance to this case, don't you agree?
He caught me.
So let's have it, Mr. Wright. Who put the cloak on the bust?
Fool! Him?
You are saying it was the victim himself? Russell Berry?
That's what I'm saying.
The victim himself placed the cloak on the bust.
Place the cloak isn't the right way of putting it.
Then what would be the right way of putting it, Mr. Wright?
Explain yourself. Do you really have a handle on all of this?
Fine, Wright. I'm finally putting all the pieces together. There's really only one picture I can paint anyways. Alright, so you want to know what really happened that night? Let's step back in time. Acro used a rope to lower the wooden box onto the scene. Then he attached that rope to the bust and dangled the bust out of his bedroom window, directly above the wooden box. At the same time, the ringmaster told Max to wait in his room. He went to the scene. Of course, at the time, the ringmaster was wearing Max's costume. Perhaps he didn't want anyone to recognise him that night. But just as he feared, he was spotted at the entrance of the lodging house by none other than a ventriloquist and his puppet, Ben and Trillo. When the ringmaster arrived at the scene, he bent over to lift the wooden box. And that's when Acro took his chance and released the rope. Now, this is when the magic happens. At the very instant that the bust hit the victim,
You wait just a second there, Mr. Phoenix Wright. As much as you try, as much as you scheme, this just isn't the truth. It can't be.
it's still a little early to be getting so upset, Miss Von Karma. This circus isn't over yet.
What?
The impact of the bust on the victim threw the cloak up, which snagged onto the bust. That impact also caused the sound a certain witness heard, prompting him to take a look. That witness was, of course, Lawrence Moe Curls, the clown. When Moe looked out of his window, the cloak had already snagged onto the bust. Now, having completed the crime, Acro naturally went about pulling up the murder weapon. Of course, he had no idea that Moe saw the bust being raised, with the cloak dangling on it. Primarily because in his wheelchair, he couldn't see out of his window, so he just kept pulling the bust up. That is how the magical murderer disappearing into the sky came to be. So you see, the only person who could have pulled this off is the one person who was able to drop the murder weapon from above the crime scene. Acro, it could only have been you.
Acro's been playing mind games with all of us.
He sure has. But he has come to the end of his rope now.
So,
What now?
you've graced us with a rather long-winded tale. But do you have any evidence to prove that your fairy tale is true?
Evidence?
In this court, only two things matter. The power of evidence and the power of my wit.
Don't forget the power of my gavel as well. Mr. Wright, the prosecution brings up a good point. Can we see some evidence?
Wait, they say they want evidence.
Just explained how there can only be one possible murder method. There is still something unusual about Moe's eyewitness account.
Unusual?
Contradiction, actually.
Okay then, use that and get out of this jam.
That's enough talking amongst yourselves. Proceed, Mr. Wright. Present some evidence to the court that backs your claims. I want hard proof that you have unraveled the trick to this magic case.
problem is Max's 3 symbols. You know, the silk hat, the cloak, and the white roses.
Those symbols were probably numerous times during yesterday's proceedings.
Yesterday there were 2 contradictions in Mo's testimony. The silk hat was one, the white roses were the other. The theory I just presented explains all of these contradictions. Ooh, do you ever shut up? Max's silk hat was found at the scene of the crime. However, remember what Mo said yesterday? He testified that the criminal he saw fleeing the scene was wearing a silk hat. There's only one explanation for that. The silk hat that Mo saw was actually the bust's.
Makes sense if you look at it that way. Then he did see the silk hat. Well, sort of.
Fine. You've got one, but what about the other contradiction?
The other contradiction?
Remember what the ventriloquist said in court? He said that he witnessed white roses on Max's chest that night. But the clown's testimony doesn't match. The clown said that there were no white roses. I'd like to see you try and explain that one away. Can you do it, Nick?
Of course, I can explain all of it.
What was that?
Please recall the instant when the cloak snagged on the bust. Onto the bust. If the cloak snagged onto the bust, what happened to the white roses? Do you get it yet? If the cloak got snagged onto the front of the bust, it means that the white roses would end up on the back of the bust. Which explains why Mo didn't see them. The white roses were not visible because they were on the back side of the bust. Order! Order! This is quite the shocking state of affairs. Mr. Wright's theory still sounds a bit absurd to me. However, let's just keep going down this road for a while and see where it leads.
Let's do this, Nick. Then maybe Von Karma will finally throw in the towel. Well, so much for that theory.
Mr. Wright, do you mind? What is it? You took the time to research our circus, didn't you? Well, yes I did. Is there something making you think that I didn't? If you did, then maybe you'll understand why I think you're off track. Why is that?
Motive. This witness feels an incredible debt of gratitude towards the ringmaster. Anyone with any relation to the circus is well aware of this. Thus, there is absolutely no way someone like this would kill the ringmaster. Your Honor, I'd like you to hear Akro's story. Learn about his relationship with the ringmaster and his life up until now. What do we do? There's no doubt that Akro deeply respected the ringmaster.
Akro's motive. It seems that this case isn't over yet. Very well. However, I feel this is a good place to take a break. I will listen to the rest of Mr. Dingling's testimony after recess. This court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Oy.
Can't believe it. Akro?
It's pretty shocking, isn't it? It definitely is.
And to think he was always the most straightforward of the group. Jeebus, am I that heated?
Acro tried to pin the murder on you on purpose.
He did? Cough. But I'm nothing but a little old nobody, you know?
But you're not, which is kind of the reason why.
Oh, hey, pal. Oh, you're going to ignore me after I went to all the trouble to bring you some evidence?
Detective Gumshoe.
Oh, forget it. I'm going home. This guy deserves to be guilty anyway.
No, Detective. I'm sorry, look. Why don't you relax a little?
You've got some really tasty milk.
How about a card trick? How about a card trick, Detective?
Oh, well, if you insist.
Now, about that evidence you mentioned. What is it?
Here you go.
This was yesterday in Acro's room.
Yep, and I've included the forensic results. Take a look at it later.
Won't Miss Von Karma be mad that you're doing this?
Well, that's why this is all a secret. Look, details are on a need-to-know basis. We're not really allies or anything. But everything that's happened in court up until now has gone according to our plan.
I don't know. Miss Von Karma didn't seem in control of things in there just now.
You'll figure out eventually, pal. Yesterday our final plans were set into motion.
Final plans?
Uh-huh. That reminds me. I got a message from the prosecutor for you. Nothing is ever truly decided until the very end. That's it. And that's it for me too, pal. I'm out of here.
What did he mean by that? The very end part.
I'm not sure. It was all pretty cryptic to me.
Oh, one more thing.
Don't scare me like that.
Looks like there's a large care package from the circus for the defendant.
What? For me?
It's milk. The reception area looks like some kind of dairy. So hurry up and drink it all before it spoils.
An entire dairy's worth of milk for me?
I keep feigning his worrying. Whatever.
Court is now back in session. Miss Montgomery, please continue where we left off.
I'd like to continue with Acro's testimony, starting with his relationship to the victim. I'd also like to get proof from the defense. Proof of what kind of motive Acro would have to commit the crime.
Understood. Now, Mr. Dingaling,
Yes, Your Honor.
please proceed with your testimony.
Finally, we get to the motive. Wait, Nick, are you okay?
Just do me a favour and don't ask questions you don't want the answer to. When we were little, we were abandoned by our parents. That's when the ringmaster of the very big circus, Russell Berry, took us in. I became an acrobat at around 9 years old. I wanted to find a way to repay the ringmaster. That was my sole purpose in life.
You're such a thoughtful young man.
As you heard, the victim deeply respected the victim. I wonder how anyone could think that Acro would kill the man he held in such esteem.
You are absolutely right. How could anyone think that, Mr. Wright? Which is why there's no real need for a cross-examination, is there?
Actually, that's a question I'm trying to answer myself. Why would Acro kill the ringmaster? This might be my last chance to answer that question. Need to cross-examine that, but... The defense has a right to cross-examine the witness.
You're so tactless, Mr. Phoenix, Wright. You don't care about justice, do you? You just want to fabricate a motive.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Cross-examine the witness.
We? Yes, my brother Sean and I.
What? You have a brother?
How old were you when this happened, Acro?
I was 8 years old, and my brother was 4.
Your parents were very cruel, weren't they?
Nowadays we aren't bitter about what happened to us, because it allowed us to meet the wonderful people at the very big circus.
Nick, Judge is getting misty-eyed.
He's got a soft spot for sob stories, it looks like.
Oh!
No crying in court. Let's keep going.
The witness may proceed with his testimony.
How would you describe your relationship with the ringmaster? It was like an uncle, father and a big brother all rolled into one, up into one. The ringmaster and my brother were the only family I had.
What about the other people at the circus?
This was over 15 years ago. Back then there were very few customers coming in, so no one really had the time to look after us. They were worried about other things. But the ringmaster, he would always come see us with a laugh and a smile.
What a beautiful story.
That's why I was always thinking of what I could do to help. I wanted to thank him.
Nick, isn't Acro such a wonderful person?
I know, he seems like a nice guy, which is what makes this so difficult.
So then, how long have you been a performer?
You started off as an acrobat at that early of an age? I begged the ringmaster until he finally agreed to let me do it. Ever since then I've been in incredible physical shape. That's also when I decided to form a group with my brother. We called ourselves the Flying Dinglingberries. It's nearly a household name.
I've even heard of them in Germany.
Liar. The point is that I wanted to be of some use to the circus.
You are truly a remarkable young man.
Judge keeps looking at Acro almost like a proud father. Did you ever have any trouble with the ringmaster?
Oh! How could you ask such a thing, Mr. Phoenix Wright? Do you have some sort of fundamental misunderstanding of this witness's testimony? Or the heartfelt emotions contained within? You better think about this, Mr. Phoenix Wright. You better think hard.
Oh! Oh! No matter how you look at it, there's no way I could see this witness ever taking the victim's life.
Exactly. I've been waiting for you to say that, Your Honor. Nick, I hate to say it, but I agree with them.
I was trying to chase down the truth, but I ended up just looking like a jerk.
I think that will be enough for now. Wondering whether or not this man would kill the ringmaster leads me to believe that it is pretty unlikely.
Exactly right, Your Honor.
Mr. Wright, I'd like to ask you a question.
Go ahead, Your Honor.
I would just like to know, can you provide an explanation as to why Acro would want the ringmaster dead?
Nick?
Yeah. I didn't even have to think about it. It was so obvious from the start. Your Honor, the reason Acro killed the ringmaster is something that can't be proven.
What?
That's because Acro had no reason to kill the ringmaster at all.
Ow!
Your foolish attempt to fool us like foolishly fools is so foolhardily foolish. Did you forget you made an accusation against this witness, did you not? I believe it was, this is the real killer of Russell Berry, ringmaster?
If you want to jump to the end of things, then yes, that sounds about right.
The end of things?
Acro, you didn't plan to kill the ringmaster at all, did you? The ringmaster wasn't your target that night.
What did you just say?
I'm saying that the target of this witness's murderous plot was not the ringmaster. Because it was never his intention to kill Russell Berry to begin with.
But...
Water! Water! Bailiff, I don't care who it is, smack anyone who's loud in the face, twice if you must. Mr. Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to my court? Ow!
Mr. Phoenix Wright, what in the world are you trying to do to his court? Are you attempting to imply that Acro was trying to kill someone else? Virginia Berry?
This young girl is the ringmaster's daughter, correct?
Acro, you were really aiming for her that night, weren't you?
You don't need to answer that. It's a mean-spirited leading question.
He could easily answer this question. If I'm wrong, all he has to do is say, "You're wrong." That's it.
That's it, huh, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
Enough. Mr. Wright, allow me to... Ow!
The only thing allowed to interrupting me is death itself.
What?
And that goes for you too, Mr. Phoenix Wright. Show me evidence, now! I want to know why Acro would want to kill Virginia Berry.
Yes, me too. I demand to see some proof. Present evidence that proves Acro was out to kill this young girl.
Acro, you remember this, don't you? It's a piece of paper that we found inside the ringmaster's tailcoat.
Inside the victim's tailcoat?
Acro wrote this note. It's ironically entitled, "To the Murderer." Its purpose was to call someone to the plaza at 10 PM.
So, you're saying that he called Russell Berry with that note?
Yes, but there's just one little problem.
Problem?
Acro did indeed place this note into someone's pocket. However, that someone was not the ringmaster.
You mean it wasn't for the...
That's exactly what I mean. The person this note was intended for was none other than Virginia Berry.
Order! 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 Mr. Wright, this little theory of yours...
It's the truth, Your Honor. It isn't a theory. Simply put, Virginia didn't think that the note was meant for her. Which is why the morning of the crime, she placed it on the cafeteria bulletin board.
That's when her father... I mean, the ringmaster saw the note.
That's correct. The ringmaster ended up in that plaza instead of Virginia. And he was killed because of that mistake, instead of Virginia.
That's incredible.
Remember the testimony that Acro gave us earlier today? Lifting the bust and looking out the window would have been impossible. There's no way I could have exerted that kind of force on my lower body. If I were to do that, I'd end up falling out of the window myself. Acro had no idea who it was that arrived in the plaza, because he couldn't look down out of his window to see who it actually was.
I've got it! I've got it! Acro thought it was Virginia down in the plaza.
That's when he let the bust fly.
Hey, Nick. Isn't Virginia listening to all of this from the audience?
She is, unfortunately. It's only going to get harsher from here.
I hope Virginia can handle it.
Acro wrote this note to Virginia.
Foolishly foolish fool with foolishly foolish fool ideas of foolish tomfoolery. You're so foolish, you've even made me sound like a foolhardy fool. Very well, Mr. Phoenix Wright. If you're so sure, then tell us about this line. I have conclusive evidence of what took place.
Yes. What about that line?
Well, if the note was meant for Virginia Barry, it would mean that this note is declaring that Virginia Barry is a murderer.
You just don't get it, do you?
What did you just say?
The ringmaster knew what the note meant, which is why he went to the plaza. In place of his lovely daughter.
Hold it right there, Mr. Wright. What is this incident that is alluded to in the note?
The incident 6 months ago. An incident occurred 6 months ago. And now I'm more than ready to show this court what happened at that time.
Moron.
What? Are you sure that it relates to the present case?
It does indeed, Your Honor. Everything in this case has its start in what happened 6 months ago.
Really, Nick?
I think so.
Well then, if that's the case, hurry up and tell us about it. What is this conclusive evidence mentioned in the note? I know I'd certainly like to know what it is.
I can't answer that question. The judge is going to think I'm bluffing. The conclusive evidence about the incident 6 months ago is actually...
Achoo! 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 Achoo!
What kind of spicy joke is this, Mr. Phoenix Wright?
It isn't a joke at all. It's the decisive evidence you asked for.
What do you mean?
Recall that the victim was trying to take the wooden box away with him. He was doing so because this piece of decisive evidence is what was inside.
What an unbelievable conclusion. Very well, Mr. Wright. So what exactly are you saying? Are you claiming Virginia Barry killed someone with a small bottle of pepper?
Taking the note into account, that's the only logical conclusion you can draw.
Foolish fool who never tires of his own foolish ways. If you're so sure, Mr. Phoenix Wright, then answer this question. Who was Virginia Barry's intended victim?
Who is this?
That is Acro's younger brother.
What does this prove? His younger brother isn't dead.
Technically, that's true. However, that has been in a coma for 6 months now. It's not a stretch to see how Acro could feel that his brother is dead.
Virginia. She did that to him?
Do you spend your entire life dreaming up new ways to be a fool? Naturally, the prosecution has looked into Acro's brother, Sean Dingling. 6 months ago, he was bit by a lion and fell into his current comatose state.
Lion?
Virginia, Miss Virginia Barry, is an animal tamer by trade. However, no tamed animal in that position is ever trained to attack another human. They wouldn't understand the command. Moreover, Miss Virginia could never do something like that. It's just not in her.
So then what happened to Acro's brother?
He's not the victim of an attempted murder. He's the victim of an accident.
I see.
Now what do we do? No one seems to be going along with your theory. Do you think what happened to Bat was actually an accident?
The lion biting Bat was no accident at all.
What?
You're such an amateur, Mr. Phoenix Wright. There is no way that Virginia would ever incite her lion to attack another human being.
She may not have incited the lion to attack another human being, but Virginia is responsible for making the lion bite Acro's brother Bat.
That's just a scar.
Acro, this scarf is something that Bat used to wear, correct? That's right. And who is the one that gave this scarf to Bat? Virginia. Virginia gave it to him.
Virginia?
There is something more than just blood on this scarf, Your Honor.
And what might that be?
Pepper.
Pepper?
Pepper. Virginia gave this scarf to Bat right before the accident, and she covered it with as much pepper as she could. Hey, what's with the silent treatment?
Excuse me, Mr. Wright. You've done a good job of fingering a criminal. But out of curiosity, what was her crime? Miss Berry gave a pepper-covered scarf to Bat as a present. Where's the crime in that?
Still seems like the judge just doesn't get it.
Mr. Phoenix Wright. Wasn't it said that the lion seemed to be smiling?
Smiling? The lion was smiling?
Right before Bat was bit by the lion. For a moment, the lion's mouth changed and it looked like he was smiling.
Lions smile?
I've never heard of them smiling. However,
Lions sneeze.
What?
Leon wasn't trying to bite Bat at all. In reality, all he actually did was sneeze. He sneezed because of all the pepper on the scarf.
What?
you fool!
You've got to be kidding me. What's the matter, Miss Von Karma?
I object, for objection's sake. Mr. Phoenix Wright, you believe it? You really intend to say that this is how this joke of an accident actually happened?
Of course I do. It's the truth. The lion sneezed due to the pepper, and that's when Bat lost consciousness. Acro nearly lost his brother due to this accident, or this joke as you put it. Which is why he tried to get his revenge against Virginia.
You foolish idiot.
It almost does seem like a terrible joke, doesn't it? Once again, I'm impressed by your imagination, Mr. Wright. To think that there's someone who treats this accident with the respect it deserves. Are you telling me that what I said was true?
Acro. You can't mean witness.
Are you confirming the defense's claim?
Mr. Wright, unfortunately your imagination is not enough to find me guilty of murder. What do you mean by that? The pepper, the scarf, the lion. I see where you're going, but it's a bit hard to swallow. Not to mention the fact that there's an even bigger problem with your theory.
What would that problem be?
Same problem it's always been. Evidence. Why drop Max's bust on top of the ringmaster? Where is the evidence that proves that claim?
You mean the conclusive evidence?
The biggest problem is the murder weapon, or the lack thereof, to be more precise.
The murder weapon. The bust that the defense claims was used. If that were to be found in Acro's room, and if it was covered with the victim's blood, that would be awfully conclusive in my eyes.
Yes, it would be.
The bust.
Nick, you gotta do something.
This is the last step. If I get this one right, the piece is won. Might be worthwhile to search Acro's room, but
Why aren't you going to search his room? It looks like you finally figured things out, didn't you? Now you know the true meaning of von Karma total justice.
I guess. I figured with you, that's the least I should expect. You'd leave no stone unturned.
A von Karma never leaves anything to chance. We already searched Acro's room yesterday.
What did you find?
There's no reason to even say it. If we found what you think we found in that room, Acro would not be here as a witness. But to put a point on it, Max's bust was not in the room. The murder weapon is still unaccounted for.
You see, Mr. Wright? The bust wasn't in my room.
Furthermore, Detective Dick Gumshoe executed the search by complete surprise. And we took Acro directly to the prosecutor's office after that. End of story.
Just wait a second. Something's funny about all this. It looks like you laid the final nail to put me in my coffin. But, what about the scarf? What about the note? What about them, Mr. Wright? No offense, but the only evidence that is relevant here is that which pertains to the death of the ringmaster. You should know that by now.
Do something, Nick. Don't let this case slip away. The bust, where is it now?
There's the bust right now.
You're Phoenix, right? You know where the bust is. I'm sure you do.
It's not even a single clue. We're supposed to know where the bust is. It seems this case is coming to a close. The defense's counter-argument looks to have fallen short.
Thank you for your support.
Terribly sorry, Mr. Wright. I think that brings an end to this cross-examination. To the cross-examination of this witness.
Where is Max's bust? The defense needs time to prepare to present its case. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous and I just bit my tongue. What?
We need time to do what?
Why are you the most surprised person here? She's your aide, isn't she?
Do you really have a case to present, Mr. Wright?
Why are you asking me? The rest is up to you, Nick. Good luck.
Hey, wait, you can't be serious.
Acrobats always have their lives on the line, don't they? That's how Acro has lived his life up until now. Now it's time for us to walk across our own tightrope. If we don't, we're certain to lose.
Very well, the defense may proceed. He doesn't have a clue. I don't think he'll be finding one anytime soon. Looking the tightrope of logic, there's no room for a false step. Sink or swim, the only way through is forward.
The murder weapon. Where is Max's bust now?
It's obvious.
The bust is inside this very courtroom.
It's obviously where.
Allow me to pinpoint the location of the bust once and for all. Acro. Sorry to ask this, but do you mind if I take the blanket off of your wheelchair? Sorry, I didn't quite hear you, Mr. Wright. Well, you are a big guy, and you have a pretty big wheelchair because of it. I just wanted to make sure you weren't hiding anything under that blanket. Because it seems to me that it would be really easy to say I had a bust under there. Once again, your penchant for humor hits me where it hurts, Mr. Wright. I think it's pretty amazing that you can laugh in your position. However, your lightheartedness doesn't change the fact that the bust is under there. You all know that you can't leave the lodging house by yourself in your condition. It proved inconvenient when Miss Von Karma happened to search your room yesterday. If she had found the murder weapon in your room, it would have been all over. Which is why you had to hide it, in the only place that you could hide it. Under your wheelchair. Which is why, Acro, I have to ask you again. Would you please remove the blanket from your lap? Well done, Mr. Wright. Masterfully played. You fool! How could you? You've got me. I've been bagged by a real pro. Actually, two of them. Two of them? Miss Francesca Von Karma and Mr. Phoenix Wright. What? Just one thing I'd like to know. How did you know to launch the surprise search of my room last night? There were two pieces of decisive evidence. The cloak and the bust. I burned the cloak in my room and threw the ashes away with the trash. Virginia always took my trash out every morning, you know. The bust. Obviously I could throw that away. When you executed your search, all I could do was try and hide the bust. And the only place that I could hide it quickly was under this wheelchair. Miss Von Karma, you had things all figured out, didn't you? I was completely sucked in by your calculated strategy. And now to be caught in the middle of court hiding the murder weapon. There's no way I can escape that. So you've got me. Well done, Mr. Wright. Well done, Miss Von Karma.
It all makes sense now.
Can't believe that Von Karma thought that far ahead. It's amazing.
You definitely couldn't tell by looking at her.
I know I sure couldn't. I can't believe it. Me. Make a mistake. Why did I order a surprise search of your room? If only I had done that.
Seems we finally arrived at the truth. Acro,
Yes, Your Honor.
did you kill the ringmaster of Berry Big Circus, Mr. Russell Berry?
Yes, Your Honor. I'm responsible for that crime. Acro. All I rather wanted was for Virginia to like him. That's why he'd tease her. One day my brother sprinkled some pepper on Virginia. She started sneezing so hard you couldn't help yourself from laughing. That's why Virginia thought it'd be funny to get him back in the same way. And that's why she covered the scarf with pepper. I knew she didn't mean for anything bad to happen. I knew this. She just wanted to make my brother sneeze a few times too. But I just couldn't forgive her, no matter what. What am I truly guilty of? I'm guilty of never ever being able to understand her. Your brother became a star. Virginia believes in that so purely that she would laugh innocently when saying it. Too innocently. I just couldn't stand it. And how hard I tried. That's when you decided to do something about Virginia. How dreadful.
So, are you saying that you are a victim in all of this as well?
No, that's not what I mean. I'm nothing but a murderer. That's who I am. First I thought I'd kill myself. I wanted given myself up. But I couldn't just up and leave. I just couldn't. Not yet. That's why I tried to pin this on Max. Max, I'm so sorry. I just couldn't up and leave yet.
This has been such a strange case. It's almost a reflection of the circus itself.
I'm an idiot. I can't believe it. You beat me. Again.
I believe this case is now beyond any point of possible discussion. Thus, I'd like to declare my verdict. Not guilty. This court is adjourned.
Fabulous! But to be honest, I can't really be happy about this.
Micro, the ringmaster, Virginia and Bat. Not a single one of them was a bad person inside her.
That's a good question, and one I don't know the answer to. Many congrats, but only at max, 1,000,000 of them. Thank you. What's with the vibe in this room?
We're just thinking about Acro.
No. You worry about people too much, and you'll be like this forever, and never be happy.
Huh?
She's been like this for a while now.
It's all my fault.
Sweetie pie.
Bat and Acro, they're never coming back. Now everyone's gonna split up. Virginia. Mr. Wright, tell me something.
What do you want to know, Virginia?
Acro said something right at the end.
I just couldn't up and leave yet.
Does that mean that Acro, is he gonna try and get his revenge on me?
He's not gonna do that to you, Virginia.
Are you sure? You really sure I can believe that?
Yep, Acro doesn't have any desire for revenge anymore.
If that's true, then I want to see some evidence.
Huh?
I want to know you're not just making up stuff about Acro not wanting revenge.
Acro didn't want to get caught for a reason. He wanted to see his brother open his eyes again.
Bat? That's right, Virginia. He's still alive, you know. I never knew. But now that Acro's been caught... I know. What? I'll do it. I'll stay next to Bat as long as it takes. Until he opens his eyes. And then until he can meet Acro again.
That's so sweet of you, Virginia.
I'm sorry, Acro. I'm sorry, Bat.
Hopefully this is enough to give her a little peace of mind. Hey, Max.
What is it, Mo?
We really put you through a lot, didn't we, buddy? I'm sorry about what happened. So, whenever you'd like to leave us, I'll pay your fee and rip up the contract.
I understand. What a fabulous thing to do for me. I might even leave tomorrow.
What's going to happen to the circus now? That's the big question. Our ringmaster was really an amazing person, wasn't he? Even though he's not here anymore, everyone is sticking together. The staff, the performers, no one wants to leave the circus. That's why I've made a decision.
What is it?
I decided that I will take over as the new ringmaster. I'll turn this circus into the best circus the world has ever seen.
The best circus the world has ever seen?
Don't laugh. It's quite the goal.
Yeah, I can't wait.
Then I guess that changes things. There's only one thing the best circus in the world has ever seen needs. The world's best illusions. Which means this circus needs the best magician in the world has ever seen. Max, let's work together and make our circus super fabulous. What do you say, big guy? I don't know what to say. All I can say is thank you. Virginia, you're gonna help them out too, aren't you?
I don't know. Maybe the circus would be better off without me.
What are you talking about, Virginia? Why do you think I brought you to court today? We've got to work together to make the very big circus bigger than it's ever been.
Mo,
I was right, sweetie pie. It can't be the very big circus without Virginia Berry.
thanks. Nick,
Seems like everything is going to turn out alright here.
I can't wait to go see the best circus the world has ever seen.
I'll save you those fabulous seats. It'll take us a while to get ready, and I'm going to order super whoopee cushion seats. I see what made the case.
Yesterday's surprise raid. It really paid off just like you said it would, sir. You had it all figured out, didn't you?
It was just a theory. If Acro really was the killer, I thought this was the only way it could end. Especially if he was the defense attorney.
You mean Mr. Wright?
Of course. Well, Detective, my plane is about to leave. As for Mr. Acro's case, you need not worry. I plan to personally stop by the Chief Prosecutor's office as soon as I get back.
Understood, sir. I'll be waiting for you, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yeah, only 4 cases in this one. That one, though, can wait until tomorrow. So, that will be all for now. And I shall be back tomorrow with the next case. Well, probably the first half of it. Because quite frankly, that seems to be the way I'm doing things at the moment. So for now, bye.